Day trade indices open at record highs on the back of a strong handover from Wall Street. Consumer durables and realty stocks lead the gains. Mid-cap index relatively underperforms.
Mahindra & Mahindra hits a record high after brokerage firm Jefferies gives it the highest target price on the street. This after the company's analyst day meeting, where the management emphasized capitalizing on market leadership in the farm and auto sectors and highlighted other growth triggers. The stock is up close to 2%.
HAL zooms over 5% after the Defence Ministry issues a request for proposal for the procurement of 156 light combat helicopters.
Other defense stocks like Mazagon Dock, Kochi Shipyard, Garden Reach, Shipbuilders and Paras Defense surge as sentiment rubs off post the HAL news.
We had a new listing today. Latravenues Tech, or Ixigo as we know it, made its debut on D Street, listing at a near 50% premium to its issue price of 93 rupees a piece, and now the stock is trading with a 60% premium.
Hello and welcome to Chartbusters. I'm Nigel D'Souza, and joining me as always is Mangala Malu. And as we can see, the screen is green. Things looking good. The Nifty is higher. The Nifty Bank is participating. And the breadth of the market still in favor of the number of stocks that are advancing. Well, Mangalam, a good start to the week.
A very good start to the week. The best start to the week was that Monday was a holiday. And that after we have 4 days of working here. And the market's doing extremely well, taking strong cues coming in from Wall Street as well as the Asian markets. Though the only thing that we need to keep an eye out on, the crisscross lines that you see it. We started with more stocks advancing than the number of stocks declining, and now those lines are coming closer to each other. So that's point number one. The second thing that you have to look at is that after a long streak of the India VIX actually seeing a bit of a decline, today it's in the green. So we just keep an eye out on the India VIX as well as the advanced decline ratio. That will tell you the course of the day as we progress as well, because the Nifty is closer towards the resistance levels of 23,500 to 23,600 itself. A good time to get in Shilpa out for a quick technical check on the market. Shilpa, we've been doing extremely well, continue to do well until when?
Good morning, Bangla and Nigel, and thank you for having me on the show. Yes, it is a very good week, and the good news is that a bank Nifty particularly has started now participating. The sustenance above 50,000 mark for the index is very positive for overall sentiment to continue, where we should see Nifty heading towards 24,000 and Bank Nifty eventually towards 51,000 zones. So both the indices are actually on a very sweet spot right now. A good momentum, good strength, good participation. Even if you look at Nifty option chain, now the support levels has been elevated to 23,400. So everything all in all is very good and positive, and I believe the upside target should be, testing through.
Okay, let's talk about individual stocks then, Shilpa. What do you have on your radar?
I have, Nigel, two buys. The first one would be IRCTC. IRCTC is again back in very strong, volume participation, and momentum is very strong, where you should see 1,080 to 1,100 marks coming in soon. The stock futures trading at around 1,037. I believe keep a stop loss of 1,020, and from here it should do 1,060, 1,080 to 1,100 zones. The other one would be a buy in Crompton. Crompton again is actually, holding on very well now above 420 mark, which is very positive for the stock. So the immediate target should be 450 to 455, and if it sustains that, then higher targets of 480 will likely come as well.
All right, hang in there, Shilpa. I just wanted your thoughts on something like a Nykaa. The Nykaa stock should come up for you. Actually, a big move is what we've seen from the morning itself. Currently at the high point of trade. Remember, on Friday, we were telling you that, the analyst meet was underway. The PPT had come out where, they were talking about a near 40% GMV growth in the retail BPC business with margins around the 25.5% mark. Good growth was what they were gunning for in both their fashion business as well as the global store and superstore business. So from lows of Friday, we've seen a near 10 rupee recovery on the stock itself, currently at the high point. Wondering, what charts are telling on Nykaa, Shilpa?
Among them, if you look at the weekly structure also, then in 167, 165 zones looks like a very good support base. So till this levels are not breached on the downside, I believe the stock can move towards 195 to 200 as well. But yes, on weekly basis, a crucial support at 165, that should be your ideal stop loss.
All right, 195 is the 52-week high. The stock is still about 10% away from there. Let's see where that goes. Thank you for joining in. Let's now talk about another special segment where we get you a few ideas for profit coming in from our colleagues at Money Control Pro. And today we have Jitendra Gupta joining in with a stock that he's been tracking.
Hi, thanks. Among PSUs, NTPC continues to offer excellent value given its reasonable valuation and strong earning visibility. Earnings visibility is quite good, supported by robust capex plans and improving profitability. Obviously, driven by lower fuel cost and generation efficiencies that we expect. The company plans to tender close to 15 gigawatt of thermal capacities over the next 2 to 3 years, and this is in addition with 10 gigawatt of thermal capacity currently under construction that provides a very good project pipeline. Additionally, NTPC renewable energy capacity targets are quite ambitious. It is aiming to build close to 20 gigawatt by 26 by FY26. We think addition of thermal power capacities will expand NTPC's regulated equity base and provide reasonable earning growth visibility over the next 2 years. Moreover, if you look at the company is focusing more on scaling up its renewable energy portfolio and exploring new areas such as green hydrogen, battery storage, which are key for its medium to long-term growth outlook. These initiatives are expected to drive earnings growth. Valuation-wise, NTPC is trading at about 1.7 times its fiscal 26 estimated book value. This is reasonable given the strong long-term growth prospects, a healthy dividend yield of close to 3% and potential for value unlocking. NTPC plans to list its renewable energy business soon, which should further unlock value.
Thanks a lot for that, Jitu. Well, for the time being, we'll slip into a short break. When you come back, we'll get chatting with the management of Zaggle. Stay with us.
Welcome back. One of the stocks which is doing well from the broader markets is Indian Hotels. That's the one that should come up for you. Currently at a fresh record high for that one as well. Been a big mover. Had taken a brief pause over the last couple of months, but the last 3 or 4 trading sessions have been very good for Indian Hotels. Currently at the high point, we're looking at 625 rupee price on Indian Hotels. But let's move on and let's talk about Zaggle Prepaid. Remember the stock buzzing around lately as well, and that's on account of a couple of agreements that the company has signed as well with a payment gateway service, Skydo Tech, to facilitate cross-border payments with Zaggle corporate customers. To discuss this agreement and more, we have the company's founder and executive chairman, Raj N, joining us now. Thanks a lot, Raj, for joining in. Always a pleasure speaking with you. I remember the last time you joined us, you did increase your guidance, from 40% to 55% going forward. With this deal that has come by, do you think your guidance is intact, or this increases possibility of further growth beyond what you've guided for right now?
Yeah, thank you, Mangalam, for having me here. So what we think is that Skydo is like, one of the various agreements which we have been doing with, multiple companies. It is basically, a strategy to increase our coverage within the corporate. A lot of companies do cross, border payments for their employees. And those payments are something which Zaggle wants to have a pie with. If you see, Zaggle has continuously gone ahead and increased product by product, inch by inch is how we have grown in each of the corporates. In terms of our guidance, we will maintain our guidance of doubling our revenue in next 2 years. Typically for 45 to 55% is what the growth is looking like this year. If you look at our first quarter, which is probably, we should do about 125% jump from what we did last year. Last year, Q1 was 118 crores. This year possibly is going to be anywhere between 240 to 260 crores.
All right. Hi, Mr. Raj. Morning, and thanks a lot for joining in. Give us a couple of more details. You're looking at doubling your revenues in 2 years, and as you said, 55% is the growth per year. Tell us about the margin trajectory. How do you see that improving from year on? And also give us a rough number. Zoyer, I think, is around 30% of revenues, but you've constantly maintained that that's going to have huge scope from year on. So where do you see the number settling?
See, Zoyer is, is one of the products which we took a big bet, and, a lot of effort in the FY 22-23, went into building that product. In fact, company took a lot of hit on that for the 22-23 year, but the results we are seeing in FY 24 and going forward, eventually we see Zoyer settling down somewhere between 45 to 50% of our revenue.
And by when will that be, according to you?
No, I think about FY 26-27.
All right, FY 26-27. You've given us a growth target for this year itself, 50-55 odd % here.
Yeah.
What we don't have is what kind of margins are you looking for? 11% is what you did. You're looking to take it to low teens at least in the very near future. So if you could give us an updated number there. And also the year beyond that, with all these platforms that you're seeding, with all these vectors of growth that you're seeding, what is a sustainable revenue growth trajectory beyond FY25?
So, see, if you look at Mangalam, we have tremendous tailwinds, which are there. We are looking at, a very, very exciting period for Zaggle. I think we should be able to maintain about, 50% growth for the coming 2-3 years. Beyond that, it is, too long a time to guess. But, this year and next year, our margins are going to be in the, in and about the same range. So we should be about 10 to 11% is what, we would be in this year, next year. And possibly the expansion would happen, when the operating leverage of Zoyer kicks in, which probably in 26-27, we should move back to about 12.5-13% and eventually reach our ideal margin of about, 15 to 16% EBITDA.
15 to 16% by which year, sir?
Probably 27-28, we should be able to hit that number.
Okay, all right, Mr. Raj, could you tell us, as per your estimates, what was your market share, where is it, and where do you see it going?
See, we overall, if you look at it, Zaggle is a very unique company. If you look, you see that discovery for us, Zaggle getting discovered itself is has been a task for us. We have always built the company under radar, away from, the public eye, and that's how, last 12 years of our, story has been built. Now, it is getting discovered, and once it is getting discovered, people are also seeing that, Zaggle is consistently delivering value, over and above what, we have committed. And if you really look at it, there are way too many tailwinds, especially coming into, digitization. If you look at majority of the large companies, Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000 companies of India, everybody is going through digital transformation. Right. And the more digital transformation happens, is great for us.
Right, we take that point. In fact, the street is listening into what you're saying. When we were speaking, we saw a bit of a spike in the way your stock price has moved as well. Though, obviously, this has no immediate bearing with what you are saying, but just a sentiment check in the market itself. It had briefly moved into the green as well. As we can see at the bottom of the screen there, you have it. It's a bit of a spike that we're seeing on Zaggle Prepaid. But now that the street is listening into you and you are speaking about the future growth plans as well, I just wanted two numbers from you. One, what was the increase in revenue because of cross-selling last year? What is it likely to be this year? And also the revenue from new products. If you could give us a sense of how much that would contribute to your overall sales over the next couple of years. So cross-selling opportunity and revenue from new products.
Yeah, so, cross-selling, I'll take cross-selling first. So I think we, typically about 17 odd % is how we have, looked at this year. And maybe we might possibly stretch by another, 2 odd %. So we'll be in that 19-20% range of, cross-selling. New products is, Zoyer, which has already seen 30%. Plus, if you see, we have bought a company, Tax Planner, very, very recently. We have taken a 45% stake in that company. So, what we are doing is we are saying that all the expenses, reimbursements, and taxation, all those things we will take care of. And, as compliance is becoming, more and more rigorous, and all the companies want to be compliant, that gives a big scope for Zaggle to grow.
Right. Finally, before we let you go, the last couple of conversations we've had, and both of them, you said that you're looking at an inorganic opportunity seriously. And this is me quoting you. So I just wanted to know, where have you, reached when it comes to that opportunity? What size, what stages of talks, what can we hear in the very near future?
To be very candid, there are 2-3 opportunities, which we are pursuing right now, and very, very seriously advanced stages of discussion. Possibly Q3, Q4 is when we would be able to, let you know with greater clarity.
Give us at least some kind of hints. We're happy that at least you gave us a timeline. What could the potential size be? What is your appetite?
See, our appetite, so if you look at it, we should be able to absorb, a 500 crore revenue company as well. Okay, and given our growth plans and how we are growing and the pace, possibly the idea is that maybe 500, 700 crore companies are great companies. But, also at the same time, integration with these companies is very tough. So that's why we have to put our, foot steadily. And that's why maybe, we'll do few tuck-ins, first, and then actually go in for a larger acquisition.
Interesting.
Right. Yeah. What's interesting is that you are, your own annual revenue is close to around 776 crores. That's last year.
Yes.
500 crore is the acquisition company that you're looking for. One wonders what is the kind of money that you will be willing to pay, because at 800 crore revenue, you are trading at around 3,500 crores of market cap, 3,600 crores of market cap.
Yeah, so you are trading, sir, at around 4.5, 5 times. So are you willing to pay those sort of multiples for the acquired company? If you assume 500 crores is the acquisition target, what do you pay? 2,000 crores? Or will it be?
Yeah, so, the opportunities, there are some, very, very good, very efficient, stressed assets. Okay, what we see is that, they're very, very complementary to, our business, but are facing some stress because of XYZ reasons. So we are taking that opportunity, and maybe, we will pay a multiple of maybe 3 to 4 as well. If the company is good and is able to give us, good EBITDA margins, and in basically, widening of the EBITDA margins happens through it, would be great for us.
Okay, so this is going to be important. It's like the marriage has been announced. We have the dates, that it's going to be the second half of this fiscal. The potential revenue could be around 500 crores, and you could be willing to pay between 3 to 4 times, so 1,500 to around 2,000 crores. The only one aspect that we're missing is the name of
the bride. The name of the bride. Actually, now that so let's just if you could give us a sense of the capabilities of the bride. We are not asking you for the name. What kind of capabilities are you looking at? And if you're willing to pay around 1,500 to 2,000 crores, is it will you be raising debt for that? What's the kind of cash that you have in your books?
So, we will have financial sponsors, help us complete that transaction, is how, we are looking at. And one of the things one of the companies which we are looking at are in the, accounts payable and in the NBFC category. So, we are looking at that, but it's too early, because between cup and lip, there is always a slip. So you understand that, right?
Okay, all right, Mr. Raj, we thank you for joining and giving us all the details on business as well as on your inorganic plans. Whenever you do make that announcement, Mangla me will be ready with the barat, in full flow to quiz you a little bit about the acquisition and to understand the way ahead as well. We appreciate you joining on Chatbus.
We'll do a joint dance in CNBC's office.
You can do the dance. We'll just watch and analyze that. But just leaving you with a promise that whenever that deal is announced, you'll join us here first.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much.
We are the matchmakers.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining in. That's the management of Zaggle Prepaid. Increased, revenue guidance 55% with margins of low teens this year. 15-16% is what the margins can be 2 years from now. And one of their key product, thesis, which is Zoyer growth, from 30% could be around 45 to 50% of sales in the next couple of years as well. All eyes on the inorganic growth that the company has been speaking about as well. Take a short break, come back on the other side. We'll get you an exclusive conversation with the CII President Sanjeev Puri on the other side. Stay tuned.
Well, the countdown to the union budget next month has begun. CII President Sanjeev Puri says that India Inc. is expecting the budget to be inclusive, one, and see investment into capex. He also suggested the government to bring GST under 3-rate structure. Speaking to CNBC-TV18 Shireen Ban, he adds that there are green shoots visible in rural economy. Let's hear him out.
Tremendous opportunity to have a transformative budget. And when I say transformative, it's like building on the strong foundation that is already in place. A transformative budget, a budget that is inclusive, and so we are really saying that continued investment for inclusive growth, a lot of investment for fighting the climate emergency, and adhering to the fiscal consolidation glide path. We would certainly like to see the investments in capex, building platforms to build consensus on some of the very important reforms that fall within the gamut of both the center and the state, be it labor, land, agriculture, even fiscal sustainability, amongst others. We're looking at a lot more investment. Of course, within the capex that is going to come in, public capex, also looking at greater investment in rural areas, so a lot more jobs can be created in the rural areas. In addition to that, a lot more investment in human capital development. Continue to see that the high frequency indicators are also robust as we start this year, and we also believe that given the weather forecast, agriculture is set to do better. We also believe that inflation will be in the range of about 4.5%, and global trade is also going to improve from where it was last year. And of course, the private capex is starting to kick in. We are seeing the trajectory is positive. And the business confidence in the first quarter was the highest that we saw in the CII surveys. So given all of this, we believe that we are onto a very strong footing, and that's what leads us to believe that we should get to 8%.
All right, positive commentary for the macros and a hope for transformative budget coming in from the president of the CII and obviously the leader at ITC, Sanjeev Puri. With that, big gains on the frontline indices, a lot of individual stocks doing a lot better. We'll review and wrap up on this edition of Chartbusters. The team of Trading Hour comes up next.